Former undisputed heavyweight champion, the great Lennox Lewis, responds to all this negativity surrounding Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua calling him a clown. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. If you want to join, you can hit the join button, become a channel member. Also, ESPN Plus. If you're getting UFC 241, it is tonight. Daniel Cormier heavyweight fight with Stipe Miocic, and the return of Nate Diaz, 209's own, Stockton's own, will get Stockton slapped, versus Anthony Pettis. This is a fight that has been kind of lingering for years, and now they're fighting. It's good to see Nate Diaz back in action. And if you want to get that card, order it and pay for it using my link. It helps the channel. Now, Lennox Lewis has responded to all this negativity and drama surrounding Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, in case you live under a rock or aren't familiar, he called Lennox Lewis a clown, said he's a clown, and his job is to kind of play the background and let the younger generation come up, and he's cut from a different cloth than Lennox Lewis, all these things. Lennox Lewis posted this the other day. I talked about it. He said, "I think this speaks for itself. Casting me as a jealous hater for Anthony Joshua's career is nonsense. It all started with rightful criticism for not doing enough to make the Deontay Wilder fight happen," which I agree with. He said, "I won't be pitted against AJ. Hashtag the Hearn agenda." He says, "Good stuff, by the way, Eddie Hearn. Good work with AJ. Looking forward to the big one. There can only be one." 5/26/18. So clear back in May of last year. And, for whatever reason, Joshua got a different memo, and he swears up and down Lennox Lewis is hating on him and all this stuff. And he says, "I don't blame Anthony Joshua as much as I blame the people around him that stoked the fires. I have remained at an arm's distance from AJ to respect that he wants to make his own way. I'm sure he also gets sick of the constant comparisons to me over his entire career." He goes on to say, "He is the first Anthony Joshua, not the next Lennox Lewis. Like I said, I won't fall into the trap and be pitted against him. He has a watershed moment in his career coming up, and all this only serves as a distraction by the media. Notice how they only led with his comments about me. AJ has my number if he ever wants to clarify what is being said in the media or show me where I'm wrong about something. My doors remain open to him. But just know that disrespect is not the answer to his frustrations. Gotta go catch a flight now. Blessed." And he said, so he extended an olive branch and said, "We can talk about this as gentlemen if you have an issue." Let me see if I covered everything. He posted his picture of a lion. He goes on to say, "This so-called feud between me and Anthony Joshua," and he tagged him, "is just what people want to see. People want me to come back at this youth and put him in his place. But I just want to tell him to look around you and don't fall into those traps." He goes on to say, "Anyone in his ear about what I have to say are just distractions from the task at hand. Hashtag undisputed. They must know this creates more unnecessary stress. Don't be an obedient target to the things that take you off your individual path to greatness." I think Lennox Lewis, I respect Lennox Lewis. As a childhood fan of Mike Tyson, to be honest, I wasn't a fan of Lennox Lewis. I thought he was too prim and proper, and I just, something about him, I wasn't just a fan. I'm a kid and shit. So you have favorites and things like that, but as an adult, I grew a respect, a phenomenal respect for Lennox Lewis and what he's accomplished. And, he's arguably the best heavyweight that ever lived, if you really think about it. He avenged all of his loss by knockout, right? And he fought great names: Cannon Briggs, Vitaly Klitschko, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield. Wanted to fight Riddick Bowe, fought Tommy Morrison, Razor Ruddock. This dude fought everybody. So I think it's wrong for Joshua to go at Lennox Lewis, because at the end of the day, what did Lennox Lewis say that the world doesn't feel? Lennox Lewis has says you can't go to a university with your third grade teacher. I agree with them. A lot of people agree that Rob McCracken is not, nobody's even disrespected Rob McCracken. I don't know him. I never met Rob McCracken. I don't think he's a bad trainer. His fight career was but nobody said anything negative about him. But not everyone's going to be the best fit for you. You get what I'm saying? Like Floyd Mayweather Sr. is a phenomenal trainer, but that doesn't mean his style would be the optimum style for every fighter. You get what I'm saying? But Lennox Lewis, he was a monster. Look at his eyes. Look at AJ didn't look like that when he was walking out, to the Andy Ruiz fight. Now Andy Ruiz, is living like a king, and AJ just seems like a man child to me. He seems extremely impressionable. It seems like I'm not even trying to be funny. I feel like AJ was a person, like a kid who was like maybe kind of square and like didn't have many friends or something, antisocial, kept to himself, found his way with boxing, and then as a result, he's seen a life that's better than most people and seen a lot of money, and he doesn't know how to like necessarily interpret it. So he just likes having a lot of men around and a lot of people around, and a lot of like friends. Now it's like a new life, this is something new to him. Now he's the life of the party. People laugh at his jokes and stuff. And I agree with Lennox Lewis. I think Anthony Joshua has a lot of yes men around. He didn't say that, but I'm saying that. I think Anthony Joshua has a lot of yes men around, and the people are feeding him this stuff and making it, Lennox is he's an old hater. He's just jealous because you're on top right now and you're stealing some of his shine. And he's letting people gas him up and believe this. Lennox has look at this picture right here, bro. This shit wasn't a draw. Lennox Lewis versus Holyfield, and Lennox Lewis has no reason to be jealous. He's making money. He works with PBC. And that's another misconception. Because Lennox Lewis works with PBC, prove what he's saying wrong. If you think Rob McCracken is this is the same team that got him, like he was with, and he got knocked out. So Lennox Lewis, he has a point, because under this tutelage, he just took a nasty loss. So maybe he didn't learn and advance as much as he probably could or should have under the guidance of somebody else. Lennox Lewis has also been a man who's practiced what he's preached. He's tried different trainers. And he said it's no disrespect to any of the trainers, but they took me as far as they could, right? And then he got with Manny Stewart, and that was a great tandem and a great duo, So it's not like he's just giving him advice, to be honest. And it's funny that Anthony Joshua would have this much resentment and call Lennox Lewis a clown, and seem like to go off on a retired Lennox Lewis, who at best it seems like he's trying to help you. He's been there, done that. Everything you are accomplishing or going through, he's been there. He's been on top. He's taken a loss to a guy he wasn't supposed to lose to. So to me, Joshua is foolish. He's foolish because you should use this. This is a wealth of knowledge we're talking about. One of the greatest heavyweights to lace him up. And he has like a plethora of knowledge that you could tap into. And he seems like a cool dude. I've met him. I've interviewed him. But he's instead letting people gas him up and make him feel that Lennox Lewis is the problem. You got a bigger problem. You better beat Andy Ruiz. All the stuff you talking. He's saying Andy Ruiz landed the lucky punch and all this extra shit. Bro, I would be using Lennox Lewis as a mentor, not going against him. Because like I said, Lennox seems like a cool dude, and he's been there, done that. But Joshua, man, he's going to be his own undoing. He wants to stay with Rob McCracken. He wants to get mad when anyone has criticism. I told you, he sent me a copyright strike. I don't give a fuck. Wait, will you send me a copyright strike off of an Instagram video, bro? That's what I'm saying. It's like Joshua, he's not used to this attention. He don't know how to handle it. He don't know how to take criticism. You're a professional fighter, and people have the right, just like you call Lennox Lewis a clown, we have the opinion, and we could say you're doing clownish behavior. That's just what it is. How you gonna get mad? You gonna get mad because somebody feels how they feel, but you have your opinions all day, right? And then you got people who are disrespectful towards you, and like really calling you out your name, like Tyson Fury, Dillian White's accusing you of being on drugs. So is Gerald Miller. Wilder called you a coward, and you attacking Lennox Lewis. This is faulty. But shout out to Lennox Lewis. I think he handled it like a true OG in the game, and it's up to Anthony Joshua. But when so many people are saying this stuff, like, hey, analyze your team, look at your team, you have a lot of yes man or won't, I feel like maybe you should take that into consideration, But Joshua, it sounds like he's stubborn, and he's going to stubbornly cling to whatever he's been doing, and it just doesn't make sense. But shout out to Lennox Lewis. to me, I don't think Lennox Lewis is the problem at all. Andre Ward also, shout out to Dre. He posted this too. Let me see look. Lennox Lewis has always been gracious to me. He's always been a phone call away and has helped me with boxing and business in more ways than people would ever know. He is one who paved the way. He will always have my respect. I stand on this, #respect. Right? So that's just what it is. Andre Ward, a phenomenal talent, you know. He said Lennox Lewis has always been gracious to him and always been someone that I've turned to and respected and been a phone call away and helped me in more ways than people think, you know, with my own career. But Joshua's sitting up here and acting like Lennox Lewis is, you know, public enemy #1. But shout out to Lennox Lewis for being the bigger person and not really engaging with it. For Joshua, he's calling someone a clown. What he said was a clown statement. He said, I don't respect him. Like, I can understand. I would have clarified that, if anything. If you say I don't respect him as a man, that's one thing. But if you don't respect this, what you see on the screen, and respect him as a champion and the fighter that he was, then that's more of a clownish comment. He didn't even really say what Lennox Lewis did. Like I said, I haven't even seen Lennox Lewis, and I follow him. I haven't seen him even say anything so radical. The only thing he's done that I've seen, for the most part, that I can imagine would hurt Joshua's feelings or causes people to be in his ear like, oh, Lennox keep talking bad, is because he was advocating for Joshua to fight Wilder. And that was additional pressure on Joshua. And it doesn't look like Joshua handles the pressure well. He was advocating it. He said stuff like, oh, you should fight Andy Ruiz in a rematch in Mexico. This has never been seen in the heavyweight division, a big heavyweight fight, rematch that big, stuff like that. So if your team doesn't want to go to Mexico, even though you said you'll fight Andy Ruiz and let his Tio be the referee in Tijuana, you know, why would you be mad at Lennox Lewis for suggesting that you fight and get redemption in Mexico? He's not lying. It would be a big fight, you know. But though that's it. Lennox Lewis, I ain't seen him say, he's not like calling Joshua out his name. Look how he just handled this. So I think Joshua's in the wrong. It is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. If you're new, consider subscribing. Make sure you smash the like button. UFC 241 tonight. Purchase it using my link. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego. Signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.